Okay, so let's move in straight. I'm gonna stop my video. And we're gonna close that. And let me just hide all of the panels. There we go. All righty. Now, to open this up, you just need a Google account. Most of us already have a Google account. I think you can also access it with your Microsoft account, but most of us will be familiar with Google. So you just go to jenni, jenni.ai. And for some reason, it opened pricing. Just jenni.ai. There we go. And this is the main landing page. Now, just a quick caveat. It is a free application. However, you only get 200 words a day. So 200 words written by the AI a day. That should be enough for most of our needs, but you can buy an upgrade to the paid version where you have unlimited AI words every day. But 200 is quite enough. I think most of us will be quite happy with that. Okay, so you go onto the main page, just go to log in. You don't need to create an account. Like I said, you can log in with your Google account, but if you prefer to keep it separate from your Google account, of course you can, create an account for yourself. Okay, there we go. So this is my previous, that I have here, my previous project. All your projects will go onto the left. And they stay there for the entirety of you using the application, so you can always go back and rework on everything else. It saves automatically as any other browser application and so on. So let's do a new document. So I'm going to go to new document. And the more descriptive you are here in the description, the better the system will be able to complete your sentences and write your AIs. So try and make this as descriptive as you possibly can. So I'm going to use my SOTL abstract for this year because it still needs a lot of work. So I'm going to use some information from here. So I'm going to take this first couple of sentences, just say what my study is about. And I'm going to use that for the prompt today. Okay. All right. And we put that in. That's a prompt just to get us started. You don't need to put in that much, but as I say, the more descriptive you are, the better your chances of getting what you want. Okay. You can also have an outline builder. So from the prompt, it can try and build the headings in your paper. Now, I've tried this. It's not great. And because most of our headings are prescribed by the journal or the conference, you don't really need that because you're going to, stick to the headings that they tell you. So I'm going to say start writing. Okay, so it is suggesting a title for me, Attitudes of Facilitators in Online Teaching. It's pretty close to what I've got here. I also have the multiple case studies, which is methodology. And it's starting off with this first sentence. The attitudes of facilitators in online teaching and learning play a crucial role in the overall engagement and success of students. I actually like this sentence, but just as an example, let's have a look at it and say that I want to see an alternative. Just give it a second to... Okay, so someone in the chat is saying that they can't see the screen sharing. Can I just get some thumbs up? Are you guys able to see my screen? I think yeah, okay, so I'm getting thumbs up. Doctor, maybe it's something on your end. Just have a look why you can't see the screen. Maybe close Zoom and open it back up again. That's sometimes what happens. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put in, I asked for an alternative. So it says the attitudes that did play a crucial role. Let's see another alternative. Okay. It's going to give us alternatives until we accept it. So let's accept the sentence. Now, this is my topic sentence. It's going to keep going and I can change the sentences. So I can say, no, I don't want that because now maybe I want to put in something else. I can see another alternative. And so you keep writing and you put in your own text in between. So I'm going to accept this one. And I'm going to put in according According to, and I've got an article already open here that I'm going to use for the citation. And of course, it's taking ages to load, where it's normally quite quick. There we go. All right, so I'm going to use this. Oh, this is a thesis. I actually want. Hey, here's one from Prof. Swat. We'll use that one. Okay, cool. All right, so I've got an article here that I want to cite, so I'm going to go. Let me just move this out of the way. Up to my settings here, top right corner. And I'm going to say, firstly, I want Harvard, but you have APA, MLA, and IEEE available as well. And you can see some of these others. You can have an autocomplete here as well. You can say what kind of document this is. We're going to say this is an academic document, but if you're writing something else, you can go and play with some of these others. You can have a friendly type, professional, so it's more business kind of style of writing, persuasive, bold, or academic. I'm going to leave it on academic here. Okay, and I've got these right, so we've got. And now I want to just go and add a reference. So I download that file. Okay, so I'm going to upload that file. I've just downloaded from Google Scholar. And it should import it kind of in the same way that you would with Mendeley. Now, I've got to be honest with you, I've had a couple where it doesn't import very well. And then I had to make some changes. But you can just edit it. So for instance, it didn't include the journal name here. And here is the journal name. So I'm just going to add that. You can add the access date, but we really don't need this for journals normally. Whenever that was tomorrow. There we go. So everything else looks okay. Nope, that's definitely not it. Like I said, it's not always spot on, but you know, you can just go and edit it. Right, let's go back to my doc. According to so now it should pick up. Okay, sometimes it automatically picks up when you just put in the, but now I'm going to ask for cite. And let's give it a second to load. Come on. So it takes a little bit while. It also suggests other topics on the internet that you can see here. So you can actually go and try another one, but it's supposed to go directly to my library. See, this always happens when you try, and it worked perfectly well yesterday. So now we're just going to quickly put it in. Come on. So a lot of these AI technologies, especially the free ones, are still work in progress. As you know, they are dependent on feedback from the users. So very often you'll find some glitches like this. So yesterday it picked up my journal article pretty quickly. And today, because I'm showing you all, it's obviously not doing it. But normally it would. So we're just quickly going to put in the journal article ourselves, not to worry. For some reason I'm having trouble copying. Hey. I just copied this a while ago and it was fine. Nah, let's just do this. I'm just going to say this was somewhere in 2021. Now I'm just making stuff up. So we'll need to put in some optional things, extra things, like for instance, I'm just going to put in this as the DOI, even though it's not. This is an example. There we go. Okay, and let's put in my citation. And it also adds a reference list for me. Now we can change around what kind of, as we know, IEEE will give you the little one. APA is one that we often use that just gives you that. And I don't really ever work with MLA, but it is an option available for you if you need to. And so it adds our, the relevance of student engagement. Let's just add some more relevance of student engagement. And you just give it time to complete your sentence. Oh, cannot be emphasized enough. That's good. Into there. Let's make it. I'm just letting it go on now. Facilitator, supervisor. No, let's look at something else. Okay. Maybe now we'll add an argument sentence. Okay, that is a horrible sentence. Don't judge me on that. Let's see what it comes up with that. And now it keeps going and talks about, so it's leading me into my my methods. You can see that it's leading into the methods paragraph. Good. And so you just keep going. Oh, let's go. Don't worry about spelling. It's going to fix it for you later as well. So you just go, whoop, yep, employed. What's wrong here? Yep, take out that space, horses and so on. And you can just keep writing with the AI, put in your own bits in between, ask for alternatives. It's going to stop us in a little bit because I probably think we're getting to our 200-word limit for the day. There we go. We have 107 words of 200 for the day, so we can still keep going a little bit. It's suggesting that we move on to a new paragraph here. That's better. Accept. And we just keep going. All right, so let's say we're done and we're happy with the paragraph that we wrote today. And you can have a look at more citations if you need to cite more. I like the fact that it actually goes onto the internet and actually finds citations that it thinks could be relevant to your topic. And I went through some of these yesterday, and some of them is actually pretty good. For instance, let's have a look at this one. I know this author, and I know that he normally does pretty good. So you can just follow the citation, and then you can find some very good articles and things that you can go and have a look at. So websites, let's have a look on websites. No, journals, no. Most recent, you can kind of filter that out. Okay, when you're done, you can just copy and paste this quickly into whatever document you are working on. You can also download it. Let me just see where the download button is. Somewhere here. Export document, you can download it as HTML or copy it to your clipboard and just put it into your Word document. But if you wanted to, you can just simply go and paste it wherever you are working. And there it is. And this was what, like 95% written by the AI. So jenni.ai, there are a lot of these apps available. I went through them and I thought this one was pretty much the friendliest one, very basic to use. You don't really need a lot of tech savvy skills to get into it. It also has a very great starter guide that takes you and it prompts you through the different things that you can do with it. I also like the fact that it puts in your citations at the end so that you have your bibliography all ready to go. So, oops, that's also very nice. But yeah, so go and explore some of the others as well. Obviously, ChatGPT can do this as well, only it's a little bit more complicated when you start putting in your own. And ChatGPT really hallucinates a lot of the citations. It makes up dates and things for them, and that just for me feels like it takes longer. But it can also do some of the writing that you have seen here. But I just like Jenny's friendliness and you know, how you work it and stuff. It's for me, it's just an easier one to use. But like I say, there are a bunch of them. Let me know if you know of any of the others that you like to use. You know, but this one is pretty good for me. Okay. So I'm going to put in the attendance register again in the chats and then open up for questions and maybe we can explore some other apps or things that you have come across. But jenni.ai, I think, is a really good one for getting started. So please unmute yourself or put in the chat box. Nandi is asking, can we recommend other similar high-quality AI tools, especially not free ones? There are some very nice. I can send you a list. I have an article somewhere that puts in the list. Most of them cost quite a lot of money, but I'll send you the list anyway. Maybe your department can look at buying some of them. Yeah. Rachel's asking for data analysis. Actually, to be honest, ChatGPT's data analysis is pretty good. Maybe we'll do that one for next time, because I've always used the SPSS that we have on campus. And I've been playing around with ChatGPT's data analysis, especially for descriptive statistics. It's pretty good. You can even prompt it to take you through the steps if you don't know what your data means. So if you're completely new to data, it will explain to you what information you can take from your data and so on. So I'll show that next time maybe. I find ChatGPT does really good with instead of an SPSS. Okay, Dr. Mersha saying that she found ChatGPT. Yeah, so I agree. ChatGPT is still probably the best AI. It's because its users are, you know, so many more users, and because AI is dependent on the user feedback to learn and to become better and so on, it is still the number one, and especially if you're using a free one. The only thing I don't like about ChatGPT, for instance, like last week we talked about creating PowerPoint presentations. It has a couple of extra steps, and there are some AIs available that does that easily. For writing like this, I also find that it's just a couple of extra steps to get it to predictively write for you. But ChatGPT still is the best AI that is freely available for most of the other things. Anyone else have any questions? So if you are interested in, it's pretty expensive, 1,300 Rand for a year for Jenny. But if you're someone who writes a lot, maybe this is something that you can have a look at. Or maybe we can have a look at ChatGPT, which will stay free, and maybe use that instead. But I really like Jenny for just if you need to quickly write an abstract or something like that. We have someone who actually has the paid version and says it's incredible. This is citations are legit and each of the articles can be downloaded. Okay, great. Thank you, Dr. Beggars, for that info. So now we have someone who actually tells us that the paid version is worth it. So if you have the 1,300 Rand somewhere in your budget, it sounds like it's very worth it, and that you can use it for your research because the citations are legit. We have a raised hand from Joyce. Please go ahead, unmute yourself.
Morning, colleagues. Leandra, I just wanted to ask something. I'm not sure about you, because with me, my supervisor in Western Cape, he's discouraging us to use the AI tools when we write our research. So I'm not sure, because he says most of the time, you know, our research will lack the original thought. I'm not sure what's your take on that, or maybe our colleagues can comment on that.
Okay,
but
so
he said you must really refrain from using yes. So he's always complaining about, you know, our text lacking the original thought and critical thinking and creativity as well. So I'm not sure what's your take.
This is one of the this is the discourse in AI at the moment, is how do we use it in academia, and whether it's allowed to be used, and how far does the AI go, and the researcher still, has autonomy of the intellectual property and so on. The thing is most of academics agree that it's a tool that you use, and you still have to prompt it. You still have to put in the prompts that make the AI work. And those are still your creative input, your intellectual property, and your critical thinking skills. And because it's just the tool that you use, most universities allow and even encourage their researchers to use AI. If your supervisor discourages it, then there's not much we can do about it. But I have to tell you, things like Grammarly are technically speaking AI. So, it's a tool that's with us, and it's going to stay with us. And it's best just to use it as the tool that it's intended to. Don't try and get the AI to write your whole thesis or your whole article. It's going to be awful. AI doesn't have the capacity for critical thinking, for exploring concepts, and working out what methodology is going to be best for this study. That still needs a research input. But as a tool to supplement or to augment your research process, to make things like the mundane writing of a paper quicker, it's perfect for that. And it takes time to write up things, and you keep writing the same things again and again. The AI can do that for you and free you up for the actual research, the thing that takes the human critical brain to do that. But as you say, your supervisor says no, then you have to stick with that and not use it. Remember, some AI can be picked up by Turnitin. We tested it; it's pretty accurate, but you can fool it pretty quickly as well. But your supervisor can find out if you have been using it. So if your supervisor says no, I think stick to what they recommend.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other questions or comments? Gerrit's also saying that he feels that it can be used as an expander of your own research. Exactly. So it's a tool, and you use it as a tool. It doesn't do the research for you. It just, assists you. I see a lot of people ask me about AI, and they're very nervous especially about writing AIs like Jenny and ChatGPT, because they think that their students are going to be able to write an entire essay from one sentence. And apparently somewhere there's this ad that is a little video ad that shows someone doing a one sentence prompt, and it writes an entire journal article. And I can tell you that is impossible. And if a student tries to submit an assignment that was written with a one sentence prompt, I promise you will be able to recognize it immediately, because the AI will not have enough input to write something proper, and it's going to be trash. So don't worry about your students using AI. For them to still produce an essay or a paper or something, you will quickly see if they didn't give it enough input. So it's not going to be something, it doesn't work that way. You see these little things that they have these very minimal prompts, and it just pushes out an entire thesis. It doesn't work that way. It's not possible. So don't worry too much about your students. Any other concerns, questions, comments? This is probably something that we have to have a colloquia about, where we all come together and just talk about, what we found, what students are doing, what we're doing, and just kind of rest. Yeah. So anything else? Okay, so let's cut it off here. I think everyone's happy. Go and explore with Jenny. I've started writing with her a couple of weeks ago. It's really nice. Just to take some of that boring writing time out. And she writes better than I do. That's the real truth of it. Especially those of us who are second language English speakers, it's nice when somebody takes the reins and just writes properly the first time around, and you don't have to go back and fix all of your grammatical errors and things. I'm going to put up this recording to the YouTube channel later, so you can all see it there. For those of you who don't know, let me put it in the chat. The talks playlist, so every talks will be there in that playlist, and a little bit later today you'll find this one as well, and all the previous ones, and you can just access it there if you want to have a recap. You can also send me ideas for these talk sessions. If you have something specific that you want to be, that you want to learn about, we can do that as well. Gerrit, go ahead, please.
Leandra, I just want to add on to what you said. I especially use the Jenny to expand my thinking. It gives you very nice different paths to follow and research. I mean, if you, I was researching something and I had four subtopics under it, and just by using Jenny, I expanded that to 7. So it's very easy to expand all your research. That's very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I also like it for those days when you have a bit of a brain block. I don't know if you colleagues ever have that, but some days when I write, I just have a slow thinking day, and then it just quickly comes up with things that you didn't even think about, and then you expand on those. So it's really nice for just being that kind of bouncing board, really, that, you know, you just bounce your ideas off of and it comes back with some suggestions and things. So it's kind of like having a personal assistant that you can abuse without feeling guilty. Okay, let's we are on the 12 almost. I don't think there are any other more questions, so I'm going to stop the recording so that we keep that nice and short, and leave it off here. Please remember to complete the survey if you haven't yet. I get into trouble if my attendance register doesn't match the Zoom report, so please fill it in, and then I have to write extra to IPQE as why they're not matching. So please remember to do that, and then hopefully everyone will have a lovely weekend, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend. Bye.
Everyone too. Bye.
Helder, kan jy my hoor?
Ja.
Ek het net gou getoets en ek het my mikrofoon op die item gesit. Nou wil ek dit toets op my werk. Lekker naweek vir jou.
Ja,
Enjoy your
my-
weekend.
My Zoom bly
Bye.
snaaks doen vandag. Ek weet nie wat gaan met hom aan nie. Hy bly flikker en goed in my pad gooi wat nie daar moet wees nie. Dit was baie weird. Oh well.
Is dit?
Ek sal kyk wat daar gaan. Okay, bye.
Nou ja. Ek sien jou maandag weer. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.